Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the program, Listening to God Daily through His Word, where I take a portion of Scripture, read it out loud, and make application. Today's portion is 1 Samuel chapter 11, verse 10 through 15. We're going to finish out the chapter. This is Monday morning. This broadcast is due to come out in about 45 minutes. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but I've been puzzling over this little 6 verses to try to figure out what's the best thing to say about them because I couldn't come up with anything. Not that it's not there, it's just that my mind was drawing a blank, which is not unusual for my brain. But anyway, let's go ahead and read this, and I'll share with you some thoughts that I've had after a few days of thinking about it. So maybe they're a little more than usual. I don't know. You tell me. 1 Samuel chapter 11, verse 10. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, Tomorrow we will come out unto you, and you shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you. And it was so on the morrow that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Amorites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together. And the people said unto Samuel, Who is he that said, Shall Saul reign over us? Bring them in, that we may put them to death. But Saul said, Thou shalt not any man be put to death this day, for today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. Then said Samuel to the people, Come, let us go to Gilgal and renew the kingdom there. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offerings before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. So what's happening here? Well, God doesn't need Saul to win a victory. In fact, when the people repented and Samuel helped them, God took care of the Philistines way back a few chapters ago. Then the people end up chasing the Philistines after God did all the work and wiped them out. Maybe the Midianites. I saw a little uh, vague on the details there. And here at the end of chapter 10, there were certain children of Belial. Those are known as sons of the devil, just wicked people. Belial said that, Who is this man and how come he should reign over us? And so now you have Saul's authority questioned after Samuel anointed him king. So now we come to chapter 11, and Nahash attacks Jabesh Gilead, who come into the scene again at the end of Saul's life. You'd be looking for that because it's an interesting story there too. And then Saul sends out the oxen, the chopped up oxen, and it gathers together 300,000 people, army, and 30,000 from Judah. And then they attack the Ammonites and they defeat them soundly. So what is this all about? Well, what happens is Saul is now justified in being a king. Before this, maybe somebody was right. Who is this guy? Why should he be king? He was the failed donkey finder, remember? He never found the donkeys. He failed in his task. The only thing he had going for him is he was tall. He was a scaredy cat. He hid among the baggage when Samuel was looking to anoint him king. They had to go drag him out. This guy, Saul, was not very kingly acting, even if he was kingly looking. But when the push came to shove and the Jabesh Gileadites were attacked, Saul came to the rescue with sending out a call, 300,000 subscripted men, and attacking the Ammonites and defeating them soundly. And then some of the people said, well, what about these sons of Belial who said Saul shouldn't be king? They should be put to death. But Saul said, nobody's put to death today because God wrought the victory. The victory came from God. Sure, he used Saul, but now Saul has credentials. Now Saul is qualified to become king because he just saved the Israelites from their enemy. A lot of times, people who are unknown may not look to be the best person for the job. But guess what? Sometimes, especially when God anoints them, they're the perfect person for the job. Moses didn't think he'd be a good leader of the Israelites, but God anointed him. He said, You're going to go lead my people out. And sure enough, he did. God may have a task for you to do that you may not think you're qualified to. Don't worry, you're not qualified, but God is. And if you need to do something for God, just do it because He will help you go through it and be successful by surrendering to Him. Saul is the king. In fact, in verse 15, it says, They went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul before the Lord in Gilgal. They did it again. They anointed him king again in Gilgal, and they sacrificed animals, and they had a big party and celebration. And it says in the end of that Israel rejoiced greatly because they have a king who is really a king, who does kingly things and doesn't just look kingly. Saul was the king that God chose. And God may choose you to send his message out. Don't be afraid. Don't be concerned about your abilities. Just surrender. Moses says, I can't speak. And then he ended up talking to Pharaoh the whole time. Moses said, I can't lead. And then he led 1,000,000 people across the wilderness to the promised land. Moses said, I can't do any of those things. But God says, you're going to do them. And he did. Surrender to God and let him work in your life. I hope this is a help and a blessing. And until next time, keep listening to God. He has something special for you.